So good afternoon, dear students. Today we'll be doing this another way to do the Kruskal algorithm. I have made the graph already for you on the board. If you have any question, I have given you the rights to unmute yourself anytime. You can unmute yourself and ask me the question whether you have any doubt. See, this is a undirected graph. What is an undirected graph? Can anybody reply? What is an undirected graph? Can
Where
anybody?
directions are not given.
Where directions are not given. Exactly,
Not
Kunal.
given.
You are right. So,
Yes, ma'am.
so this is there. This is the undirected graph since there is no direction given. Fine. So in this Kruskal algorithm, whenever we are trying to do, see the edges drawn between two vertices. Here A, B, C, D are vertices. The circular figures which you are seeing, I have depicted A node, B node, C node, and D node. They are known as vertices. Wherever the point which is connecting two vertices is known as edge. See, A and C will form edge with weight 2. Line drawn between A and C will form the edge with the weight 2. So this is a weighted undirected graph since the weight against each edge is given to you to prior in the question. Fine. So first rule in this is you have to remove these loops. You have to remove any loop which are in the graph. We have to remove this loop. When a vertex is pointing towards itself, it becomes a loop and it is again pointing towards itself. So we have to remove the loop. Second rule is to remove the parallel edges. Second rule is to remove the parallel edges, and you have when there are two edges between the same vertices, then you have to keep the edge with the least weight. You have to keep the edge with the least weight. See, here the edge is with the 2 and 12. So we have to remove the edge with the least weight. We have to keep the edge with the least weight and we have to remove the edge with the more weight. So I'm going to remove the edge with A to C, that is with the 12 weight. Fine. So we are left with this graph. After removing loops and parallel edges, having more weight, we are left with this graph. We have vertex A and B, and the weight is 2. Fine. From A to C, the edges weight is having 2, and A to B to C it is having 1, and B to D it is having 5, and D to B it is D to C it is having 3. Now see, we'll form this tabulation chart if we are to draw the minimum spanning tree. First of all, you will write edge, then the weight. B and C. The edge which is connecting B and C is having weight 1. The edge which is connecting A and B is having weight 2. The edge which is connecting A and C is having weight 2. Edge which is connecting C and D is having weight 3. And the edge which is connecting BB is having a weight 5. Fine. So let's draw the Kruskal algorithm, or a minimum spanning tree for this Kruskal tree or this graph would be according to the Kruskal. First, you have to take the edge with the least weight. So it would be B, it would be C. The edge with the least weight from this tabulation chart, you will pick the edge with the least weight. So it is going to be 1. Next, A to B is 2 and B to C is 2. A to B is 2. We always, third rule is to consider the edges which are not forming any cycles in the given graph. Now if I join A and C, since it is also having weight 2, now what will happen? It will make a loop. It will make a closed triangle A, B and C. So we will discard this A to C. Okay, so we will not take A to C edge into the consideration. So let's move next. C to D is 3. Okay. Now, when I join D to B, it will again make a closed triangle CDB. Fine. It will again make a closed triangle, that is CDB. That means it will form a loop. So we will discard the edge between D and B. We will simply ignore that edge. So minimum spanning tree would be this. Another variation, C, B to C. You can consider any one of these edges. Here we have considered A to B. Now we are considering A to C. See, they were both having the same weight. You can consider either of the edges. Fine. Now, these are the two variations between the of this particular graph. There are two minimum spanning trees, MST1 and MST2. You have to simply discard the edges which are forming the loop and considering the edges with the least weight. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else?
Yes,
Anyone
ma'am.
having any questions regarding this? I can again repeat, this is the graph which is given to you. First of all, you have to remove the loops. Secondly, you have to remove the parallel edges. Supposingly, if its weight would have been 1 and its weight would have been 2. Now, which edge we will be keeping? We'll be keeping the edge with between A and C with weight 1, not with weight 2. Fine. Now it's 12, so we will be removing the edge with more weight. So we'll be removing the edge with 12 weight. Fine. Now the graph after removing the loops and the parallel edges would be like this: A to B, B to C, C to D, and it is forming this weighted graph, and weights are given against each edge. Now we will make the tabular format where we will be presenting the weights along with the edges. So BC is the edge having weight 1, AB is the edge having weight 2, AC is the edge having weight 2, CD is the edge having weight 3, DB is the edge having weight 5. Now we'll be considering first edge with the least weight, so it will be B to C with 1, then A to B 2, and we have not taken A to C because it is forming a loop. So we'll be discarding this edge. Then C to D will take 3, and when we'll be joining D to B, it will again form a loop. So you will be simply discarding it. Fine. Now, since AB and AC have same weight, so we can make two representation of this graph. A to C is 2, C to B is 1, and C to D is 3. Now, total weight of this MST would be MST1 total weight would be 2 plus 1 plus 3, that would be 6. MST2 would be having, so 6 weight in total we will get in both the cases. In minimum spanning tree 1 and in minimum spanning tree 2, we'll be getting 6 weight as the weight in both the cases. Fine. If it is clear, please raise your hands so that I should come to know that I have to move further. Okay, fine. Seeing lot many hands today. Okay, thank you. Let's do non-prems. In prems, first and second step are the same. Slighter technique is different. Otherwise, everything is same. Okay. So I am taking the same graph so that it will be more easy and to understand, and it will be easier for you to compare it with Kruskal, although you will get the same weight in this same weight of that MST. So let's do this. First step is same as Kruskal, to remove the loops. Second step is to remove the parallel edges, and you have to keep the edge with the least weight. Fine. After removing those edges and loops, we are left with this graph. We all know. So let's do this tabulation. This tabulation is slightly different from the tabulation that you have done in Kruskal. So where the row and to fill this table, rule is to first to put 0 where row and column name is same. See here, A same, put 0, BB same, put 0, CC same, put 0, DD same, put 0. Since no vertex is pointing towards itself, we have the loops, so it is going to be 0, 0. Now, from vertex A, we have to see uh, weight of each edge. From A to B, the weight is 2. From A to C, the weight is again 2. From A to D, A to D, we don't have any directed connected edge, so it will be infinity. So it will be infinity. Fine. Is it clear? A to B, the weight of edges 2. From A to C, the weight of edges again 2. From A to D, it is since there is no directed line, no line between direct connection between A and D, then it is infinity. Now for B to A, B to A the weight is 2, B to B it is 0. For B to C, weight is 1, and from B to D it is 5. Now C to A 2, C to B is 1, C to C 0, and C to D is 3. So D to C is also 3, D to B 5, and D to A no edge, so it would be infinity. Is this tabulation part clear? Please raise your hands if it is clear. Only then we can draw the graph. This tabulation part is clear. We have put the infinity where there are no edges between any given vertex. See, from A to C, there is no vertex, no edges given to us between the vertex A and D. So it will be infinity. Okay. So vice versa is also there. So let's draw the algo. Let's draw the MST from this given tabulation. MST for prims would be, go to first row where the edges of A are given, select the edge with the least weight. So it is A to B. Let's take A to B, that would be 2. Now A to C is again 2. We can take it, but later on we have to remove it because it is going to form a loop. Now B to A is 2, we have done it. Now B to C would be 1 because it is the smallest one. And B to D we are not going to take. We have to take the smallest weight. Fine. Now C to B is 1. This is done. C to A. If I make this C to A, it will make a closed loop. So I will discard it. If I consider this as C to B is 1, C to A is 2, and if I do this, it will make a closed loop. So I'm going to discard it. Now C to D is 3. Okay. Now D to A is infinity, no connection is there. D to B, if I make this line D to B, it will make a closed triangle. So we are going to discard this edge. We are going to discard this edge. D to C we have done, and D to D it is 0. So MST for this would be what? 1, 2, and 3. So total weight of MST from prims would be 2 plus 1 plus 3, that would be equal to 6 again. Fine. Here you have considered the edges from this kind of table where you are taking the vertices on row and column, and you are drawing the weights between the two vertices. Fine. So this is another technique. Okay. Is this clear? If it is clear, please raise your hand so that we can move further. Now, what would be the complexity of Kruskal algorithm? It will be O E log V. Actually, it has to explore the edges before joining all the vertices. So, Kruskal's algorithm complexity will be big O of E log V, and prims would be, since we are taking this vertex and this vertex, so it will be O of V square. O of V square, that would be Prim's algorithm's complexity. Since we are taking two vertices at a time and then drawing the edges, so we are doing edges later on and vertices before, so it will be O of B square. Fine. So let's do next topic similar to this. The problem is traveling salesman problem, and it is also done with the help of traveling salesman problem. It is also done with the help of greedy technique. So let me draw the graph and then I'll tell you what is to be done. As it is understood by the problem, traveling salesman problem, the person has to visit n places. Here I have taken 5 places. Fine. And after traveling 5 places, he has come back to his original position. That means that definitely this graph is going to make a closed loop. But what would be the minimum distance that he would take to travel from one vertex to the another? See, as you can see in the graph, that this is a fully connected graph. That means for reaching means if a person want to move from V1 to V2, he can either go from this way, which is having weight 20, or he can go first to V3, then to V2. Okay, then he can find his way. Fine. So this kind of problems are used in navigations where you have multiple routes, but we are to choose the navigator choose the best route for you according to this only, because we have a road network which is a fully connected network. We have multiple ways to reach any destination. So Google navigator or any navigator application gives you the shortest path. Now, shortest path that you will be calculating is with the help of this traveling salesman problem. The person will greedily choose the shortest path. Now, let's do it in the similar manner. See, like we did in Prince, we will do the same tabulation chart here. You have to draw V1, V2, V3, V4, and V5. Here again, V1, V2, V3, V4, and V5. Here the person comes, this is to be, this you have to remind that the person will come back to its original position from wherever it starts. So V1 is not pointing towards itself. So what we will be doing, same rule is applicable where row and column name are same, put 0. Rest the edges are being given to you. So let's see from V1 to V2, what is the distance? 20. You can make along with me, I think. Then from V1 to V3, it is 19. From V1 to V4, it is 25. And from V1 to V4 it is 25, and from V1 to V5 it is 22. Correct? Yes or no? Can anybody says it is correct or not? It is correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, now you tell me what is from V2 to V1.
20.
V2 to V1 will be, if
20.
V1 to V2 is 20, then V2 to V1 is also 20. Then V2 to V3, how much?
21.
21. Then V2 to V4,
25.
3.
23.
V2 to V4, it is 23.
23.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then V2 to V5,
And
V2 to
25.
V5, 21. See, this is the line. V2 to V5 is 21. Okay. Now from V3, you have to check the distance of each and every vertex. V3 to V1, it would be 19. Then V3 to V2, yes.
19,
V3 to V2, 21.
21,
Then V3 to V4, again 21.
21,
V3 to V5,
22,
20. See,
20.
okay. So let's do others. V4 to V1,
25.
V4 to V1, 25. Since V1 to V4 is also 25. V4 to V2,
23,
23. Yes, Dipti. Then V4 to V3,
21.
21. Then V4 to V5, 22.
22,
Okay. Now V5 to all the edges. V5 to V1,
22.
22. V5 to V2,
21.
21. Then V5 to V3,
20.
20,
V5 to V4,
22.
22,
22. Okay, fine. So, okay, 22, 20, fine. I'm just cross checking it whether everything is right. Okay. Now, the technique, you should listen very carefully. It is slightly different from Prim's. We have to start with the first vertex, that is V1. Okay. See the smallest value. Which is the smallest value in V1 row? This 19. Okay. So, starting from V1, the person will move to V3 and he will cover how much distance? 19. Okay. Now, from V1, we have landed up in V3. We have landed up in V3. Now go to V3 row. Now go to V3 row. See, V1 to V3 is 19 and V3 to V1 is also 19 because directions are not given. Now you will consider second smallest value, that is 20. From V3 to V5, it will be how much? 20. Got it? Yes or no? You
Yes, ma'am.
started from V1, go to V1 row, start off with check the smallest value, that is 19, it is against V3. That means the person will travel from V1 to V3 by covering say 19 kilometers or this much weight. Then V3 to V5, you will go by covering 20. Fine. Now we will go to which row? V5 row. We have landed up here in V5. So you will go to V5. This was first, this was second, and this was third. Sorry. Now in V5, see value after 20. That is
21.
21. Where we will land up? In V2. Okay? Where we will land up? In V2. Now go to V2. Which is the smallest value after 21?
23.
23,
See, I tell you.
23,
Another way to check is V1 we have done, V3 we have done, V5 we have done. Okay, and next smallest value is left is 23. Where we have landed up? V4.
V4,
Now go to V4 and check the
25.
next value after 23. It would be 25,
25.
and you'll be landing up in V1. So all the edges are covered, all the vertices are traversed. We started from V1, then we went to V3, then we went to V5, then we went to V2, then we went to V4, and we came back again to V1. That is what my traveling salesman problem says. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
We are going
Yes,
from
ma'am.
V1 to V3, then V3 to V5, V5 to V2, V2 to V4, and V4 to V1. We are again coming back to V1. Now let's draw this graph. I'm just erasing this graph. We will make the V1 to, you can make in any random manner. No? So this is your, what was this edge earlier? Let me check. V2.
V2.
So let me draw V1, V2. This was V3, this was V4, and this was V5. Okay. V1 to V3 it is 19. Okay. Then V3 to V5 it is how much? 20.
20,
From V5 to V2 is how much?
21,
21. V2 to V4 it is how much? How much?
23,
23 exactly. And V3 to V1 is 20.
25.
25, sorry. Now you add up all these values. Total value would be 19 plus 20 plus 21 plus 23 plus 25. So give me the total of this. The answer would be 108. Okay? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. If you have
Yes,
understood,
ma'am.
if you have understood this problem, please raise your hands. Any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask me. Yes.
मैम जो V5 से V2 करा है वो कैसे करा है?
Anchi?
जो मैम V5 से V2 चूज करा है वो कैसे करा है? 21 वो
V5 to V2. ये
जो
देखो.
V5 to
See,
V2 करा है ना चूज.
see V5 is there. No?
Yes.
ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे कितना वैल्यू था? 20. V3 to V5 was what? 20 ना. You have
हाँ
to
जी.
see next smallest value after 20. That is 21.
Okay.
Okay. So V5 to V2 was 21. So we have chosen this edge. Okay. You have to choose the next smallest value. Here in first it was 19, then it was 20, then it was 21, then it was 23. They are all in increasing order.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions you have? Then please raise your hand. I just want to see lot many hands if it is clear. So people are raising hands now. Okay. Shall we move further? Madhav Vijay, is it clear? Amisha,
Yes, ma'am.
Misha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Misha, please forward me your loan letter.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Send it to my WhatsApp number. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. So let's do the next topic. If it is clear, you'll be doing lot many problems today itself, and you'll find this lecture would be interesting for you at the end. See, the next problem is 01 fractional knapsack. You did knapsack problem in dynamic programming, and even I have put you the question in the sessional. I told you that we will be doing knapsack with so many ways. So this is another variant of knapsack. Here we can take the part of the thing. See, supposingly we have these 5 objects, x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5. Say the weight which is given to us is 20. After taking these 4 objects, I have taken how many weight, 18 kg of weight I have picked. Now I am left with 2 kgs. Earlier it was the concept that I have to take the thing or I have to leave the thing. If I am leaving the thing, the value will become 0. If I am picking the thing, then it becomes 1. Now what about left 2 kg? We were not able to pick, supposingly if this weight would be 8 kg, so we were not able to pick 2 kg out of these 8 kg. If object x5 has weight of 8 kg, we were not able to pick 2 kg out of it in the simple knapsack method. So in fractional knapsack, we will be able to collect this part of 8, that is 2 kg from this 8 kg. So that is the fractional knapsack. Means we will be taking the entire value which is of the knapsack. So let's do this knapsack. We will be given objects, their profit and weight, and what we'll be doing that you can see in the subsequent section where I will be discussing. So just wait for a moment. Okay. First of all, in fractional knapsack, we have to calculate the individual profits. That is by picking one weight, what will be the profit that we will earn. See, after picking 2 kg, we will have the profit of 15. Okay. When I divide this by 15 by 2, I will be getting profit for 1 unit. I will be getting the profit for 1 unit. See, 2 kg weight is there, the profit is 15. When I pick 1 kg, the profit would be 7.5. So let's do this. 20 by 3, what would be the answer? 3 6 are 18, 6.66, right? 10 by 5 is 2, 7 by 7 is 1, 6 by 1 is 6, 18 by 4 is 4 6 are, sorry, 4 4s are 16 and 4.5. Then 3 by 1 would be. Any doubt till here? Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Simply you have to divide Pi by Wi. Okay. And it is in the sequence. Pi values are given to you, weight values are given to you. You have to just calculate Pi by Wi ratio. Okay. Now we have 3 scenarios. First scenario, that we have to pick the value. Suppose knapsack value is given to us is 15 kg. How many columns are there? 1, 2, and 3. So first scenario would be maximum profit. Second would be minimum weight. Third is maximum Pi by Wi ratio. Next thing is maximum. 3 scenarios we will be doing. First is according to the maximum profit. We'll be picking the object according to the maximum profit. Then minimum weight and maximum Pi by Wi ratio. Now see the first column, which is having maximum profit. Which object is having maximum profit? Tell me. In first column, you will not write anything because we are left with remaining. We have not picked anything, so remaining weight is 15. Now see, in the Pi column, this column we have to check. Okay, this column we have to check what is the maximum profit of which object. So if I say it is object number 2 with maximum profit 20 and weight is 3. So let's reduce the weight from 15. We are left with 12 kg. Next profit would be object number 6 with weight. How much? Profit is 18 and weight is 4. So 12 minus 4 would be 8. Okay. Next, we have to pick the object with 1. Profit is 15, weight is 2. 8 minus 2, it would be 6. Okay. Next, which object you will be picking? Object number 4 with the profit 7, weight 7. So we cannot put
Ma'am, 3. It would be 3.
sorry.
10 man.
Wait, ma'am. We'll do it. Sorry, I've left. 3, profit is 10, weight is 5. So 6 minus 5, it would be 1. Next, which thing we will be picking up? 7, na?
Yes,
4
ma'am.
number object. See, now we are left with only 1 kg. We are left with only how many kgs? 1. And we have to pick a part of it. So for single unit, it is equal to 1. 7 divided by 7 means 7 profit has 7 kg ही weight है. So what is its ratio? That is 1. That means by picking 1 kg, we will get profit of 1. So profit is 1. 1 kg of weight we have picked. 1 minus 1, it would be 0. So do its total. 8, 5, 13 plus 1, 14. 1 carry, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So this will be your answer for maximum profit. Maximum profit. The maximum profit you will earn by picking up a 15 kg would be 64. Okay? Yes or no? If it is clear, please raise your hand. If you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions. If it is clear, please raise your hands so that we can move further. Clear to all? Arish, Abhinav Kashyap, Aditya Mehra, Sharma, Anjali, Amindeep Kaur. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay, fine. So let's do it according to the.
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay, fine. Now let's do it according to the minimum weight. Let's do it. Minimum weight. What could be the minimum weight? Which object is to be picked? Now you guys will tell me, because the more you will participate, the more you will get. So which is the object with the least weight? Tell me.
Number 7, 3 man.
No, it is number 5 with the 6. Okay. So initially we are left with 15 kg. We will pick the least weight. First with the weight 5, because we have to start from object number 1 and move till 7. So we will start from object number 5. Profit is 6 and weight is 5, 6, 1. 15 minus 1, it would be 14. Okay. Next you will be picking up 7. Profit is 3, weight is 1. 14 minus 1 would be 13. Okay. Next, which weight you will pick? Any one of you? 7, 3 we have done. Now least weight would be of object number 1.
Second object.
First object,
Yes.
15
First object,
profit
yes, ma'am.
and 2 weight. So 13 minus 2, it would be 11. Next object,
Second object.
yes, it would be 2, 20. Weight is how much? 3. So 11 minus 3, it would be 8. Next object,
Sixth object.
Anji?
6.
Sixth.
6. Okay. 18. How much weight? 4. 8 minus 4, it would be 4. Next object बोलिए.
Third object.
Third object.
Third object. कितना weight आएगा इसका?
5 kg.
5.
See, we have to pick 4. Here the weight is how much? 5. Fine. So how many units we require? 4 units.
4 units.
For picking up a 5 unit, the weight is the profit is 10. Okay. By picking 4 units, what would be the profit that I'll earn? 2 into 4 would be
8.
8. So here 4 minus 4 will be 0. Again see, when I pick the 1 unit, I'll get a profit of 2. Since I have 4 kg left here, I will pick how many units? 4 units. So by picking 4 units, I will earn the profit of 8. So I have put profit 8, 4 in the weight, and 4 minus 4, it is going to be 0. Now what would be the total of this profit? Tell me. 6, 3, 9, 5, 14, 14, 8, 22, 22, 8, 30. So 3 carry, 3 plus 1, 4, 4, 2, 6, 1, 7. So according to the minimum weight, after picking up of 15 kg, what would be the profit that we will be earning? 70. Fine? Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Last step.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Which step is not clear there?
लास्ट वाला जो 3 ऑब्जेक्ट लिया है.
ये वाला? See the third object. For 10 weight, see, we earn 10 profit for picking up of 5 kg. What would be the profit that we will earn for picking up 1 kg? That would be 2. ठीक है जी. अब यहाँ पे हमें कितने चाहिए? How many we require? 4. So what will be the profit that I'll be earning? 4 into 2 would be 8. Fine. Fractional abstract का मतलब ही यही होता है कि we are picking the portion of the object. We are picking up the portion of the object. Fine. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So is it clear now? Next we have to do with the maximum PI by WI ratio. So I'm just going to raise it. See, we have to move column by column. That's it. Nothing else is done. First we have taken PI column, then we are taking weight into the consideration. Now we'll be taking this PI by WI. Now you tell me maximum PI by WI value, which is to be pegged up. Which object
First
is to be?
Second.
Which
First.
object? First one. Okay. I'll be picking first. Profit is 15. Weight is 2. PI by WI ratio is 7.5. So 15 minus 2, it is going to be 13. Next.
Second object.
Second object, 20. 3. 13 minus 3, it will be equal to 10. Then
Sixth object. नहीं.
yes, fifth object, fifth, 6, 1, then 10 minus 1, it is going to be 9. Next object बोलिए बेटा.
Sixth.
Sixth ले लें. Okay. 6, 18, 4, 9 minus 4 would be 5. Next बोलो. बोलो.
7.
7, 3, 1, then 5 minus 3, it would be equal to 2. Next object, please speak out.
Third object.
देखो ये हो गया आपका, ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया. Now again,
Third and fourth left.
how much? Third and
Fourth is left.
third and fourth is left. Since our demand is just to pick how many kgs now? 2 kgs. We are left with how many kgs? 2 kgs. Now what will be the profit that I'll be earning from single unit is how much? 2. By picking up 2 kg, what would be the profit that I'll be earning?
10.
Just wait. I have done
10
something.
profit.
Sorry. I have done something wrong. Okay, now it's okay. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Their weight was 1. I have subtracted 3 kg by mistake. So 5 minus 3 is 4. So by picking up of 4 kgs, how much profit I will be earning? 8. 10 by 5 is 2. We are getting 2 by what? By picking up of single unit. Now picking up a 4 unit will give you profit of 8 and weight will be 4. 4 minus 4 would be equal to 0 and the object number is 3. Now give me the total. It is again equal to 70. 5, 6, 11, 8, 19, 19, 3, 22, 22, 8, 30, 3 carry. So 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Fine. Now what would be the answer of this? Now let's write down the answers. Okay. We just come to know by concluding this. I tell you what to do. What would be the conclusion here now? Say, fine. Now, first thing, we have earned profit of 70 by using minimum weight and maximum PI by WI method. Correct? We have earned profit of 70. Same ही मिला ना हमें profit. In the previous case and in this case, we earned the same profit. That is in minimum weight and maximum PI by WI, we got the profit of 70. ठीक है जी? Now, what are the things which is to be picked? X1 लिया हमने, बोलो yes or no? Put 1. X2 लिया आपने, yes, put 1. X3 लिया आपने. Now don't put 3 here 1 because you have not taken the entire part. You have taken how much part of it? Tell me. How much part of it you have taken? Please tell me in percentage what is the part that you have taken. X4 you have not taken, put it 0. X5 we have taken. Yes, 5, 6, 7 we have taken. Just wait. What would be the part that you have taken here? You have taken 8 by 10 part, no? Four by 5 parts of the things which are in X3. We have taken 4 by 5 parts of the X3. Fine. So this would be the answer. Right? Have you got it? Have you got it? Please raise your hands if you have got it. Since you have taken 4 out of 5 parts, so I have written 4 by 5. Any doubts, you can unmute yourself and clear your doubts first. Then we can move further. Any doubts you have? No doubts? Okay, let's do the poll questions and then we'll come back to what does brute force approach means. Try all the set of possibilities to find the solution to a given problem. Try all the set of possibilities to find the solution to a given problem. There could be one solution, there could be many solutions. That again depends when we apply this brute force technique. Second thing, backtracking is never meant for the optimization problem. That means we are not to yield any minimum or maximum value using this backtrack. We are not to use any backtracking, any minimum value or maximum value in this backtracking. Fine. So it is not meant for optimization problem. The first big difference of backtracking from other method is that it is not used for optimization problems. Just like greedy method was for optimization problems, so it is not meant for optimization problems. So let's do the first technique, that is brute force approach. Then I'll tell you how to backtrack and what to do. In backtracking, the solution is always made in the form of tree. It is called solution space or state space tree. In backtracking, the solution is always made in the form of graphical representation, which is called tree. And that tree is known as solution space or state space tree. We will be making this tree right now. So let's see. We have been given, see, 3 persons, 3 chairs are given. 1, 2, and 3, x naught. Yeah, you may write x1, x2, and x3. 3 chairs are given, and 3 persons have to sit. 2 lawyers are there, and 1 teacher is there. Fine, they have to sit. How they will sit? So we will make the set of all possibilities. See, three persons are there. How many ways they will be sitting? They will be sitting in 3 factorial ways. That is 3 into 2 will be having 6 solutions for it. Yes or no? Permutation combination you have done in previous classes. If you have 3 persons to sit together, what are the various combinations that they will form? 3 into 2, 3 factorial ways, that is 6 combinations they will make. So let's start finding the solution. So this is your root node. First, you will put x is equal to 1. That means on the first chair who will sit, let's suppose lawyer 1 is sitting. Now on second chair who will sit? Lawyer 2 will sit. On chair 3 who will sit? Teacher 1. Okay. What is the second possible combination? That here, what would be the next possible combination? This could be the next possible combination. L1 on first chair and T1 on second chair, teacher on second chair, and L2 on third chair. Yes or no? Please reply.
Yes, ma'am.
On the first chair, lawyer 1 will sit. On the second chair, lawyer 2 will sit. And on the third chair, teacher 1 will sit. Then this could be the combination. Lawyer 1 can sit on first seat. Then teacher can sit on second seat. And lawyer 2 can sit on third seat. Now let's do second combination. L2 on first seat. Now what will happen? Lawyer 1 on second seat. Teacher 1 on third seat. Then teacher 1 on second seat. And lawyer 2 on third seat. Now, next combination would be T1 on first seat, lawyer 1, then lawyer 2, then lawyer 2 and lawyer 1. So this entire tree is known as what? It is already mentioned, state space tree. Okay. What is this entire tree known as? State space tree. Now, what is the possible set of combination? You people will answer me. I am not going to write it without you. So solution 1 would be, I'm writing 1, then you can tell me. X1, X2, X3, these are my 3 seats which are to be occupied. On seat 1, lawyer 1 will sit. I'll go this by hierarchy. So teacher 1. What would be the second solution? This would be my second solution. L1, T1, and L2. Now, who will tell me the third solution? Please tell me the third solution.
L2,
L2.
L1,
Yes, L1,
and T1.
T1. Very good. Next, S4. Solution 4. Who will tell me?
L2,
Yes,
T1,
yes.
L2.
L1. L2 is done. Lawyer 2 is done. Now, seat left is for L1. Next. Next, who will tell me? Anybody can unmute yourself. T1, then
L1,
L2.
L2,
Next,
T1, L2,
L1.
L2, L1.
How many solutions we have got? 6 solutions. We have got how many solutions? 6 solutions. That what I was stated in the beginning, that 3 persons can sit in 6 ways. So these are the 6 possible combinations in which the students can be seated. Now, okay. Now the condition is there. There is one condition, that no teacher cannot sit in middle. Teacher cannot sit in middle. ठीक है? The constraint which we are imposing in the problem is known as bounding function. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Bounding function, and it is represented with big B. Fine. Whenever I pose any condition in a problem, or any condition is given to us, or any constraint is given to us, it is called bounding function, and it is represented by B. Now, considering this bounding function, we will make the tree. Okay. Now, how to make the tree, which solutions would be possible, which will not be possible, we'll see. Now see. Fine. This is my root node. Chair x is equal to 1, put here. I will put what? L1. On second chair, L2. On third chair, T1. What is there? X is equal to 3. Now see, teacher is not sitting between two lawyers. So this could be my one solution. Here I was putting what? Teacher 1. In the earlier tree, I was putting teacher 1. Now, if I move to L2, that means teacher 1 will be in middle of L1 and L2. So it will not allow me to move further. I will be bound by the bounding function. I have to abide the bounding function, and I will not move further. I will not move further, and I will backtrack to the previous node. I will backtrack to my parent node. I will backtrack to my parent node. Then I will move to next node. Next possible combination is L2. X is equal to 2. Oh, sorry, X is equal to 1. Seat 1 pe we have made seated lawyer 2. Now, lawyer 1 and T1. This could be my second solution. Here, if I again put T1, I will be again stopped by bounding function. So I will backtrack and move to next node. Next node mein T1 is there. There is no problem when two lawyers will be sitting together. So, fine. So that means how many solutions have gone? Which solutions are gone now due to my bounding condition? S2 is gone and S4 is gone. Okay. So this will not be the part of solution set which I am forming, as I have been stopped by bounding function. Wherever I am going to stop by bounding function, I will move to the parent node. Then from parent node, I will move to the next node. This is called backtracking. Okay. We will backtrack our solution from wherever we are stopped by the bounding function to the parent node, then to the next node. Fine. So tell me if it is clear. Please raise your hand if it is clear. If you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any questions, you can ask. So wherever my binding function stops me, I will move to the parent node and then to the next node. So let's do our next very, very interesting problem, which is called N-Queen's problem. So I'm just drawing the diagram here. Just wait. See, there is one more concept in it. If my bounding function does not apply, that means I will get one solution. See here, L1 was on the first seat, L2 was on the second seat, and teacher was on the third seat. So no bounding function was there. Fine. So that means what? That means I have got this one as a solution. Here I was stopped, so it was stopped by bounding function. So where bounding function applies, we don't find solution. Where bounding function does not apply, and we will get a solution. Fine. So the various problems which can be solved by the technique of using this backtracking is sum of subset. Next is N-Queen problem. Third is graph coloring problem. Okay, these are the 3 problems which can be solved using this backtracking. Fine. See, there is one more technique which is called branch and bound. Similar to backtracking, it also follows brute force approach. It also follows brute force approach. The similarity between backtracking and branch and bound is both of them follows brute force approach. Both of them consider all the set of possible solutions and then come to the final solution. Fine. So we'll be doing this branch and bound later on. It was just to make you clear that something like branch and bound also exists. Fine. So first of all, we will do this n queen problem. This is very, very, very interesting problem, and we will make it. How many of you are playing chess? How many you are playing chess or played chess? Raise your hands. Okay, many of you are playing chess. Okay. There are queens in the chess? Yes or no? Anybody can reply. There are king and queen in the chess, है ना? So what we are doing, our standard chess board is of how much? 8 by 8, that is 8 row and 8 column. Here, in order to reduce the size of our problem, because if I take 8 into 8, I mean 8 into 8 squares, then our state space key, that would be too big for me to draw on the board. So in order to reduce the problem, I'll be taking 4 into 4, 4 into 4 square board. Fine. And the problem is, I'm drawing this board. The problem is to place the queens. 4 queens we are given. Normally there are 2 queens, but in here we are given 4 queens, which are to be placed on this 4 by 4 board, such that 2 queens are not under attack. So that 2 queens are not under the attack. What are the conditions where the 2 queens are likely to be under attack? First, if 2 queens are in same row. Second, if 2 queens are in same column. 3, if 2 queens are in same diagonal. Fine. So this is my bounding function, which will apply to n queens problem. Now we have to find in which row and which column my particular queen will be placed, so that no 2 queens can attack each other. Fine. No 2 queens can attack each other. So let's do it. कैसे करेंगे इसको? Very simple. See, this is a very, very easy problem, but people find it difficult to understand. So I am going to draw this state space diagram in front of you. If you find any problem here, you can stop me and ask me if you have any doubts according to it. Fine. Okay. Let's draw the state space tree by considering all those possibilities. What are the possibilities? Where the 2 queens are likely to be attacked, that is what? They are in the same row, same column and same diagonal. So let's put first queen here. Okay, let's put first queen in first row and first column. So I have given x is equal to 1. First column में आ गई है जी हमारी queen 1. Okay. Now where to put queen 2? First queen is okay, placed in first row and first column. We will move to next queen. Can I put q2 here? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Can I put q2 here?
No, ma'am.
Can I put q2 in position
No, ma'am.
because they are in same
No, ma'am.
diagonal. They are in the same diagonal, so they will be attacking each other. So I can put Q2 either in column 3 or column 4. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, x is equal to 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Then x is equal to 2. Where I have to put Q2? Q2 I cannot put in x is equal to, for x is equal to 2, यहाँ पे लिखते हैं इसको, यहाँ पे लिखते हैं x is equal to 1. Sorry, x is equal to 2. At location 1, we cannot put, I will be stopped by bounding function because they are in same column. Okay. Then x2 at position number 2. Again, I will be stopped by bounding function because they are in the same diagonal. Okay. Then this here, yes, we can put, fine. This we can put, okay. X2 is in column number 3 now. Now let's see where we can put Q3. Can we put Q3 here? Can we put Q3 here? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. Why?
Same.
Because they are in the same column.
Column.
Can I put here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
They are in the same diagonal. We cannot put here. Okay. Can we put Q3 here?
No, ma'am.
Why?
No, ma'am.
Same. No, ma'am. Same column.
Same column.
Same.
Okay. Can we put Q3 here in the last column?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Where?
Diagonal.
नहीं नहीं डाल सकते ना इसको.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
नहीं, ma'am.
क्यों नहीं डाल सकते?
Diagonal में.
Same diagonal.
Because they are in the
Diagonal,
same diagonal. इसका मतलब x is equal to 3 में we cannot put Q3 in first column, second column, sorry, neither in first nor in second, कहीं भी नहीं डाल सकते हम इसको. Yes or no? Stopped by bounding function. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we cannot put Q3 neither in first column because there is already queen 1. Here the queen will be diagonally attacked. Here also the queen will be diagonally attacked. And here again they are in the same column. So we cannot put Q3 here. Yes? Okay. Now what we have to do, यहाँ पे तो हमारा रास्ता बंद हो गया and we will not be able to move to Q4. अभी we are not able to place Q3. How can we place Q4? We will not be able to. तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? We will be simply moving to row number 2 and backtracking this option. We will move to, see, here I was not able to put, can I put Q2 here? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can put. So let's draw it. Q2 in 4. Okay. Now where I should put Q3?
Second column.
Second column. Okay. So if I put Q3 here, we cannot put because they are in the same column. If I put Q3 here, it will be attacked diagonally. So we cannot put it in third column. If I put Q3 here, they are in the same column. So we are not able to put Q3 in the last column itself. So we are to put Q3 in row number 2, 1 pe, it will be stopped, 3 pe, it will be stopped, and 4 pe, it will also be stopped. Now where to put Q4? अब क्वीन 4 की बारी आ गई है ना, कहाँ डालें हम क्वीन 4 को बताइए?
मैम कहीं नहीं जाएगी.
Can we put Q4 anywhere?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
क्योंकि यहाँ डालेंगे तो it will be in the same column, again same column. Here it will be attacked diagonally, again here it will become same column. Now what we have to do? Tell me what we have to do. See, here we have tried all the possibilities for Q4. Here we have tried all the possibilities for Q3. Here we have tried all the possibilities for Q2. Now let's try one more possibility, that is we will backtrack to row number 1 and try to remove try to move Q1 to location number 2. Yes or no? ये आपको समझ में आया? यहाँ पे हमने 2 लास्ट कॉलम में आके छोड़ा था, इसका मतलब we have tried all the combinations of 1, 2 and 3, 4 in row number 2. Here also we have backtracked. Since we have tried all the combination of Q3, then we came back and decided this position. Now we are not able to place Q4 in this board, and we have tried all the possibilities. Now where we have not tried, it is in the row number 1. So we will pop the queen from row column number 1 and put it in column number 2. So let's do it. How we will do it? See, now first tree side is over. Now we will take, I'll draw this way only because this will be again very lengthy. Now x is equal to what? X is equal to 1. This is position number 2. Fine. In first row at position number 2, we have placed the Q1. Okay. Now where to place Q2? Where I have to
Last
place?
4 columns.
See, Q2 I cannot place here. They are on the same diagonal. Q2 I cannot place here. They are in the same column. Q2 I cannot place here because they are in the same diagonal. So where I'll be putting that Q2? I'll be putting that Q2, which is the safest place for Q2 is column number 4. Sorry. Fine. So let's do it. I will try for x is equal to 2 in row number 2. First, I will be stopped by bounding function. For 2, it will also be stopped by bounding function. For placing in position number 3, it will be again stopped by bounding function. And at 4, I'll be able to place my Q2. Now for x is equal to 3, where should I place
First
my
column.
queen 3?
First column.
Why first column?
First column.
See, if I put Q3 here, it will be in the same column. Okay. Can I put here? No, because they are in the same diagonal. Can I put here Q3? No, because they are in the same column. So what we are left with? We are left with a single location, that is where at first position in third row, I'll be able to put my Q3. So 2, 3 and 4, I'll be stopped by bounding function. Now, where to place the Q4?
Third
If I
column.
put Q4 here, they're in the same column. If I put Q4 here, they're again in the same column. If I put Q4 here, they're again in the same column. But I will be able to place my Q4 in the third column. Fine. So let's do it. At first, x is equal to 4. I'll be stopped by bounding function. 2, again stopped by bounding function. 3, I'll be able to reach Q4. At 3, I will place my Q4. Then this is not fourth position, I cannot do. So that means what is the solution that I'll be getting? At position number 2, I am going to place x0 या x1 लिख लीजिए आप, x1, x2, x3 and x4. In which column I will be able to place? Second column, first row, then first row, second column. Second row में कौन सा column है अभी? 4. Then third row, first column, and fourth row, it would be third column. Fourth row, third column. So my solution set will have the answer 2, 4, 1, 3. My solution set will have the answer 2, 4, 1, 3. Got it? Got it? Please raise your hand. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Only few students are raising their hands. Rest are where? Are you there or you have gone somewhere? I'm not looking for much hands. Okay, what could be the second possible solution set? Tell me. इसका एक और solution set बनेगा, कौन सा हो सकता है? बताइए. What could be the second possible solution for this set? Anyone can tell me by. Okay, we can try one more solution. Which solution we can try now? See.
मैम 3
Yes.
1 4 2
3, 1.
4 2.
Exactly. I tell you where it is to be done. Three, 1, 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it right? Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. It is 3, 1, 4, 2.
Yes, ma'am.
That is exactly the mirror image of what you have done. Okay. That means you have applied which technique? Brute force technique, in which you are finding the two answers for a given solution. Now, what is your home task? That you have to try the placement of 8 by 8. 8 queens on 8 by 8 board. Can you do it? Will you be able to try it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You have to do the similar thing on 8 by 8 board. 8 rows and 8 columns. Will you be able to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then do it
Yes,
and
ma'am.
let me know. Fine. Okay. So we'll be doing next problem, that is graph coloring problem, which has to be done by backtracking. Now I think backtracking concept is clear to you, है ना? So let's do one poll and then we'll be doing that graph coloring now. Fine. So see this question on your screen. Actually, at that time, there were only printers which could print only one color at a time. So they have to use minimum number of colors, because the number of the colors they will use, the number of times the paper will use to be passed through the printer. एक प्रिंटर में एक टाइम पे एक ही कलर आता था. अगर वो बहुत सारे कलर यूज करते तो क्या होता था कि उनको जितनी बार जितने कलर्स चाहिए उतनी बार उस पेज को दे हैव टू पास थ्रू द प्रिंटर. फाइन. सो दे डिवाइज सम टेक्निक कि अब इसका कुछ सोल्यूशन निकाला जाए. तो दे वेंट टू कंप्यूटर साइंस पीपल. तो उनको बोला गया कि आप हमारी प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन निकालो. Then they found the solution ki what are the minimum number of colors which can be used to paint this graph. Fine. So they found the formula to find the what are the minimum number of colors which are required to paint this graph. See, this is again an undirected graph, and you can assume 1, 5, 2, 4, 3 as a region, as we have been taking these as vertices. Fine. And these are your edges. Now, what does this graph coloring method says? We have to color this graph in such a manner that two directly connected vertices should not have the same color. हमें इस ग्राफ को इस तरह से पेंट करना है कि दो जो डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड मेरे वर्टिसेस हैं, they should not have the same color. Now see, if I paint one vertex with the red color, can I paint vertex 2 with red color? Yes or no? Can I paint vertex 2 with same color? Can I paint?
Yes.
Yes or no? Please tell me. Somebody has unmuted. बोलिए. The problem says we cannot paint two directly connected vertices with the same color. Then can 2 have red color?
No, ma'am.
Can 2 has red color? No. So we have to
No.
paint vertex 2 with some other color. Let's take green. Okay. Now 2 is connected to which? 3. Now color of 2 is green and color of 3 could be what? Can it be red or can it be, we assume that initially we have two colors. First of all, we'll take those colors into the count. First node is with red, second is with green. 2 and 3 are connected. So we can put red color to 3 number node. Fine. Now can 4 has, uh, can 4 be painted with the red color?
No.
Then it could be painted with green color.
Green.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Now what about vertex number 5? Neither we can paint it with red because it is directly connected to vertex number 1. Nor we can paint 5 with green because it is connected to vertex number 2. So we need third color. We can do it with blue. We
Blue.
can do it with blue. So solution 1 is first node red color, second node green color, third node again red color, fourth node again green color, and fifth node again blue color. Okay. Now let's see, can there be other combination? If I replace this with this, first node with the red color, second with blue color, third with which color I do? Red, again blue, then this could be of green color. Yes or no? First node with red color, second node with blue color, 2 and 3 are connected. You can paint 3 with red but not with blue. 4 and 3 are connected but 4 is not connected to 2. Then we can paint 4 with blue color. Yes or no? Then we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
paint 4 and 5. 5 is also connected to red color and blue color, and 5 should be painted with third color, that is called green color. That means minimum number of colors which are required to paint this graph such that two directly connected vertices have not the same color, that would be 3. That would be 3. What is the minimum number of color we require is 3. 3 कलर हमें मिनिमम चाहिए ही चाहिए इस नोड को, इस ग्राफ को पेंट करने के लिए, सच दैट दो रीजन जो इकट्ठे हैं उनका कलर सेम नहीं हो. ओके, यस और नो? रिप्लाई प्लीज.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood? All of you, please raise your hands if you have understood,
Yes, ma'am.
so that we can move towards other things. Okay, fine. So solution 2 could be red, blue, red, blue, then you have green. Yes? Okay. Now, in this graph coloring method, we have two terms. One is called M coloring decision. Second is M coloring optimization. First term is M coloring decision. Second term is M coloring optimization. Now, what does M coloring decision says? Suppose we have been given any graph and we are given any number of colors. Suppose यहाँ पे हमें एक fourth color भी दिया होता है yellow. Then we would have been asked whether it is possible to paint the graph with these 4 colors. We have to answer yes or no. Fine. Can we paint this graph with one more color? If we are given, see, 3 colors, we have seen that it is feasible to paint this graph with minimum of 3 colors. What would be the scenario if we would have been given 1/4 color, that is yellow? What would be your answer? Yes or no?
No.
No? The answer would be yes or no. Please tell me. Anybody
No,
can?
ma'am.
अगर हमारे पास येलो कलर होए, RGB और येलो कलर, red, green, blue and yellow, will we be able to paint the graph with the same
No,
compounding
no, ma'am.
motion? No? You're wrong. We
That's
will
not.
be able to paint this graph with 4 colors. See, then no two 5 vertices are there, fine, and we are given 4 colors. Then we can form the solution set where though two vertices which are joined directly, they could not have same color. अगर मान लीजिए यहाँ पे मैं ये कर दूं, ये आंसर नहीं बन जाएगा? रेड ब्लू येलो ब्लू ग्रीन, यस और नो? That means M coloring decision says कि you will be given a graph along with the number of colors. You have to tell whether you will be able to paint the graph with the number of colors given. If yes or no, this decision is to be taken with the help of M coloring decision. Okay? समझ में आया? आपको एक ग्राफ दिया है और कुछ कलर्स दिए हैं, आपको बस यही बताना है कि आप इन कलर्स को यूज करके इस ग्राफ को पेंट कर सकते हैं या नहीं. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एम कलरिंग डिसीजन प्रॉब्लम. ओके, and M coloring optimization says what are the minimum number of colors required to paint this graph. ये दो अलग अलग टर्म्स हैं, एक डिसीजन टर्म है, एक ऑप्टिमाइजेशन टर्म है. Optimization says what are the minimum number of colors required to paint this graph, and decision says what whether we can paint the graph with a given number of colors or not. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have understood, please raise your hand because I'm not looking so many hands in the group. Okay. Okay, thank you. Fine. So these are two terms which are associated with M coloring decision or M coloring optimization. So now let's do one example with it. That would be very simple for us. See, we have given this graph and 4 vertices and 3 colors R, G, and B. So let's draw its state space diagram. We are left with 10 minutes, and in 10 minutes I would be able to complete this. So we'll form the what state space tree or solution space बोलते हैं इसको. We start from the beginning node at x is equal to 1. Which color you will give? Any color you want to give is, suppose आपने first node को which color you have given? Red. If we have possibilities, either we can give red, we can give green, we can give blue. But I will be making a solution space for red. You will be making for green and blue yourself. Fine. Now for x is equal to 2. Which colors can be given to? Can we give red color to node number 2? No. So we are stopped by bounding function. We can give either blue color or we can give either green color. Fine. This is for node number 2. I have written it. Fine. Now what would be the node x is equal to 3? थर्ड नोड के लिए कौन सा कलर दे सकते हैं फिर हम इसको? यहाँ पे आपने रेड दे दिया, यहाँ पे आपने ब्लू दे दिया. Now what would be the third color? Can you give red? Red, yes. Can we give blue? No. Can we give green? Yes. 1, 2, and 3. Yes, yes, okay. Now come to the fourth node. यहाँ पे आपने दे दिया जी, इधर इसका कलर क्या हो सकता है? रेड या ग्रीन. First of all, we will talk about red. If 1 and 3 are red, then what about fourth node? Can we give red color? No here. Can we give, we cannot give green color. Can we give? No. Then which color we will give? Blue color. Red हम इसको दे नहीं सकते हैं. Red cannot go with red. Bounding function. Red, यहाँ पे अगर आपने red color दिया, then you can give it either green or blue color. Either blue or green color. See, blue yes, green yes. Okay, so what would be my solution? First solution will be red, blue. आप ग्रीन ले लीजिए पहले इसको, रेड ब्लू रेड ग्रीन. This could be my one solution. See, node number 1 you have given red color, then for node number 2 you cannot give red because they are directly connected, you can give blue. We have given blue. अब ब्लू के बाद थर्ड नोड को हमने फिर से रेड कलर दे दिया बिकॉज ब्लू एंड ग्रीन, ब्लू एंड 2 and 3 are connected and 3 is not connected to 1 even, so we can give red color to it, so we have given red. Then for fourth node either we can assign blue or we can assign green, that is up to us. Fine, you can choose any one. That means two solution will be formed, red blue or red blue red green. This could be the solution. Fine, so from this we have got two solution, red blue red blue red blue red green that I have mentioned. Now let's go to this third node, red blue green. मान लीजिए आपने इसको green दे दिया. Now इसके बाद क्या होगा? फोर्थ नोड यहाँ पे ना, ठीक है. दिस इज एक्सरसाइज 1 2 3 रेड ब्लू ग्रीन. ओके, हम इसको कौन सा कलर दे सकते हैं? Because since 3 node is green, so we cannot give it this green color, but we can give it red or blue. So what would be my solution set? Red, blue, green, red. Oh, red, blue, green, red नहीं दे सकते because it is connected to 1. So we can give only one thing, that is blue. Red, blue, green, blue. We cannot give it red. Fine, so this could be the solution. So these are the three solutions which we'll be finding for first row. Fine, similarly you can color this node number 1 with blue, then node number 1 with green. Fine, is it clear? Any questions you have? If it is clear, raise your hands please. Just like queen problem, you have to find the node color for every node, every vertex. Those few hands are raised again and again. I'm not looking much more hands this time. Dimanshu, Dipti, Dilip, Anchals, all Anchals. This Simar Singh Walia, Simranjeet, Isha. Okay, so okay, Amin, I got your message. So this is called graph coloring problem. We will have a look on the next technique, that is Floyd-Warshall and Dijkstra in next lecture. So we will be completing that. So thank you very much for today's lecture, and I'm winding up this lecture. If you have any problems, you can WhatsApp me personally or you can ask your questions to me. Right now, if you have any doubt, you can ask.